So let's see, what does the European Union actually do? 27 countries sit around the table and they agree something called a treaty. And the treaty defines the areas where the 27 countries agree. And then they put money on the table, which is actually only 1% of the gross national product of the 27 countries. So it's not a lot of money, but it allows the European Union to coordinate the areas where the 27 member states agree. So the 27 countries agree to cooperate, and they agree on what are called European policies. And I look at these on the next slide. Now, if they agree to cooperate, say, on research and innovation, the way they cooperate is they have a program. They set up a funding program. So one of the ways that Europe works together is through funding programs. If they agree, for example, that we should have the same quality of water across to Europe, they can make legislation that's the same across all of Europe. So that's another way that it's not Europe making the legislation, it's Europe implementing the legislation on behalf of the 27 countries. They set up agencies like the European Centre for Disease and Control, which was very active during the COVID crisis. They have the European Food Agency. So they set up these agencies that operate in areas that are common to the 27 countries. They coordinate national activities. For example, during the COVID crisis, they tried to coordinate it so that the big countries and the small countries were treated in the same way. Now, and the last thing they do is they work on international cooperation. So instead of the 27 individual countries having their own international plans, they said, let's get together and identify areas where we cooperate nationally. So that kind of summarizes the main activities. But the first one is the one I want to look at. The treaty identifies the areas where we cooperate. And one of the areas where the 27 countries cooperate is on research and innovation. So they decide, okay, let's take 95 billion euro and fund research and innovation between the 27 countries and outside countries in the period from 21 to 27. So the financial cycle in Europe is 7 years. So that's the current cycle. There's another program called InvestEU to make Europe a leader in innovative companies. There's a program for exchanging students between the countries. There's one on Digital Europe. In fact, there are over 30 different programs. So Horizon Europe is just one of 30, and that's what we specialize in, and that's what we will be looking at in the following modules.